So you want to watch for number 1, Hans Nielsen, and number 2, Jan O. Pedersen in the red and blue helmet colours. They will be looking to get off to a good start. They should beat the home boys. And into the first corner, the Danes are side by side. Yep, in blue, Pedersen just takes a look over his left shoulder, checks where Nielsen is, and they're going to team ride. Now this is shaping up to be an exhibition of how to ride team Speedway. These two Danes at the front aren't racing one another. One's riding an outside line, one's riding an inside line, and in white, in third place, Ryszard Domisiewicz is really given no space at all in which to operate, assuming he could get on terms anyway. Lovely shot there of the team riding Danes. You have to trust your teammates so much. And these two guys won't care who's first for the checkered flag and who's second, as long as Denmark get 5 points, 3 for the first place, 2 for the second place, to start off their World Pairs campaign. That's the way to do it. Leg trailing on the outside, feet up on the inside, checking where each other is, and it's 5-1 to the Danes. Red we have Furlanetto, and in blue Armando Castagna. They are in the inside and the third spots on the grid. There is Castagna in blue coming up to the tapes. In white we have Per Jonsson, the world champion, and in yellow and black on the outside, Henrik Gustafsson. Now the Swedes are probably the favourites to challenge the Danes in this final. Italy, one of the weaker nations, although Castagna can be an individual star, but he's unlikely to get the backup from his teammate, it has to be said. Castagna is indulging in a little bit of gamesmanship at the tapes here. And in white, that looks like Jonsson at the front, is it? No, it's certainly the Swedes. It's Gustafsson and Jonsson at the front, I beg your pardon. In yellow and black, Henrik Gustafsson. In white, Per Jonsson. And they're going to try and show that Swedes can do what Danes can do, aren't they? A bit of team riding here, with the occasional glance over the shoulder in the direction of Armando Castagna. In fact, it's the other Italian rider, Furlanetto in red, who is in third place. Castagna's at the back. Well. So it looks as if the much-fancied Swedes are going to start off with a 5-1 to keep them on level pegging with the Danes, and it has to be said that is entirely expected. If Denmark had lost 1 point to the Poles, it would have been a major surprise, similarly as the Swedes do indeed rack up their 5-1 against the Germans. And in red it's Gunnestad, but round the outside comes Lausch, and up into third place comes Greece. Ooh, not a good race so far for Killingstad, is it? Lausch in yellow, Gunnestad in red. This is good speedway racing. Oh, I thought Lausch had locked up. But he got the drive. Gunnestad got a bit too much drive, maybe. And Rees is holding third place for the Germans. Now, have I been underestimating the Germans in the run-up to this meeting? As yellow and black, Klaus Lausch leads Heat 3. Lars Gunnestad is in second. A man we saw win a meeting in his home country here on Eurosport earlier in the year. And Gert Rees is still holding off Einar Killingstad for third. So if this situation holds up, it's going to be a 4-2 for the Germans, which would be the first surprise of this meeting. In yellow, Lausch wins. Gunnestad second, Riss third. It is a 4-2. Nielsen on the inside in the red. Sorry, Hans Nielsen in the white. Bo Brel of Czechoslovakia in the red. And in blue, it is the Czech reserve, Roman Matusek. Denmark versus Czechoslovakia. Pedersen on the outside, sweeps round as Bo Brel really gives Hans Nielsen a sorting out for second place. Bo Brel in second. An aggressive first bend from the Czech. And he's still in second. Nielsen's back in third, coming under pressure from Matusek. Dear me, this is a bit of a harder heat than the Danes might have expected. Nielsen's through though, giving as good as he got. And Jan O. Pedersen, leg trailing stylishly. It's unusual to see this man get... Hello? Pedersen stopping. I was just about to say it's unusual to see Jan O. Pedersen get such good starts, and his bike has stopped. Now then, that leaves Nielsen out the front, but obviously the best the Danes can now get from this heat is 3 points. It will be a 3-3 heat. As they pass the stricken Dane on the inside there, it's obviously some sort of mechanical failure. Nielsen wins, as you would expect, but the Czechs pick up 3 points. Right, in red, Dormisiewicz, in white, Fulanetto, in blue, Schwist, the Polish reserve, and in yellow, Armando Castagna. The Italians have swapped positions on the grid. Castagna goes for the inside. Schwist in blue on the outside. Dormisiewicz in red on the inside. Those are the two Poles in second and third place. The other Italian, Fulanetto, pushed to the back. That's Castagna. And Schwist had a look over his shoulder there to see where Dormisiewicz was. And I think the two Poles might now decide to team ride it for the 3 points for second and third places, or are they still chasing Armando? No, I don't think the Poles can afford to relax. Fulanetto in white, he might be in fourth place, but he's within range. But at the front, Armando Castagna enters the last lap. 4-lap heats as per normal in Speedway. Ooh, big full locker from the Italian. And this will mean that both Poland and Italy advance to 4 points after 2 rides. And we're going to jump straight ahead now to Heat 7. In Heat 6, the Swedes 5-1'd the Norwegians, so the Norwegians having a dreadful start, and the Swedes taking the lead after 2 rides with 10 points to the Danes 8. This, the 7th heat, Germany versus Czechoslovakia, will complete the first round of races. After this heat, everybody will have had 2 rides, and we will know exactly where we are in the point standings. So, we have Bo Brel in red, the reserve for the Czechs, Matusek in blue. We have Gert Ries in white and Klaus Lausch in yellow and black. Number 12, Klaus Lausch. Watford Brel in red. He's been impressive in his opening outing. He's got the space, he's got the drive. Has he got the drive? No, he hasn't. Gert Ries has the lead, the world long track champion. Brel's after him. The other Czech, Matusek in blue, is on the inside. Whoa, both Brel's got a big locker on there. Lausch, sorry, Ries in white. Gert Ries, the long track champion. Heads the 2 Czechs. And stuck at the back, Klaus Lausch in yellow and black. This looks like another 3-all shaping up. Because I don't think the Czechs can get on terms with that very fast motorcycle in front, Gert Ries. And it would be difficult for Klaus Lausch to get between the team riding Poles. Sorry, Czechs. Sorry. So this would be 2 rides. Let's assume that point position will obtain, and I think it will. So after the first 2 rides for everybody, the Swedes lead with 10, then it's the Danes with 8, the Germans have 7 in third, the Czechs have 6, the Poles and the Italians have 4, and poor old Norway only have 3 points. Who would have thought it? So we have Hans Nielsen in red and Jan O. Pedersen in blue. Those are the Danes. Furlanetto is in white for Italy and Castagna in yellow for Italy. And the Danes will be wanting another exhibition of team riding here. And the Danes hit the front on the first corner. Nielsen on the inside, Pedersen on the outside. And they're off and they're going to team ride again. They haven't even looked at each other yet. The track's a bit messy now, overwatered in places. And this is exhibition stuff. They're hardly a glance there from Pedersen to see where Nielsen, his partner, is. Exhibition stuff. Poor old Armando Castagna, reduced to chasing without much hope, it has to be said, in third place. Furlanetto tailed off. Is Castagna getting within range? You can see him winding his visor strip on there. And the Danes, as Castagna is getting on terms, but the Danes have left him no room whatsoever. 5-1 to the Danes, they resume their challenge. Heat 9 of the World Best Pairs Championship, Sweden in the shape of Johnson. Per Jonsson, the world champion, in red, and the reserve is in. Nielsen is in for Gustafsson in blue, Doromasiewicz in white, and the Polish reserve, Schwist, in yellow and black. Now the Swedes will want to give the local boys a good hammering here. Nielsen leads in blue, round the outside comes Johnson, and in white Doromasiewicz is putting up a spirited challenge. But the Swedes have got the front, and the Swedes are going to team ride him. Now, what can the Polish lad do? Richard Doromasiewicz in white. He has the Swedes in front of him, and he would dearly love, in front of an enthusiastic home crowd, to give him something to cheer about. But I fear that the Swedes have this worked out. On the outside in red is Per Jonsson, the world champion. On the inside in blue, Nielsen. Jimmy Nielsen. He is down as the reserve, but it looks as if the Swedish team are going to give him just as many rides as they're leading to. I'm not sure if that's within the rules, of course, but it's might not be quite within the spirit of the rules. Never mind. So, as the Swedes 5-1 Heat 9, they go to 15 points. The Danes are currently on 13, and we're going to go to Heat 10. Norway versus Czechoslovakia. The Norwegians currently bringing up the rear of proceedings. They have Gunnestad in red, Kellingstad in blue, and it's Bo Brel in white, who has looked so combative so far, and Ramon Matusek, the Polish reserve, is in yellow and black, not Tesarch as the caption says. So the Czechs at the moment lying handy on 6 points against the Norwegians, who are on 3 points. Eastern European Speedway has not had a good time recently, and the Czechs must be scenting some sort of a comeback here, and Bo Brel has been afraid of nobody in the first corners, has he? He's really given Hans Nielsen a bit of a hook in the first corner. He got it back, of course, from the multiple world champion, but we should get a good race. In red, Per Jonsson. Sorry, Lars Gunnestad leads, and the Norwegians hit the front at last. Is this going to be a change in the Norwegian fortunes? Yellow and black is Matusek, looking around to see where his teammate is. The answer is in 4th place. Bo Brell back in 4th as the Norwegians, Gunnestad and Killingstad. Team ride to hold off the theatrical Raman Matusek in 3rd. And they are having to work hard because the Czech lad is after them. One slip, one gap, and Matusek is going to have a dip for it, that's for sure, as they go into the last lap. What can he do? Gunnestad in red, Killingstad in blue, Matusek in yellow. The 2 Norwegians lead the Czechs. And unless Matusek can do something, he's looking for drive, he's not going to get it. 5-1 to Norway. Which takes the Norwegians up into 3rd place, but we're nowhere near the end, of course, of this round of rides. Heat 11 is Denmark versus Germany. Gert Ries in red, Klaus Lausch in blue. They've swapped positions on the grid. In white, Hans Nielsen. In yellow and black, Jan O. Pedersen. The Danes are aware of the Swedish challenge. Pedersen was looking to his inside, 2 bike lengths off the grid, and he goes round the outside, takes up formation with his teammates, and we're off, are we, for another Danish exhibition. Lovely leg trailing style from Jano Pedersen, a man not noted for his textbook starts, it has to be said. Beautiful stuff. Jan O somewhat agitatedly looking round to see what's going on. And we heard, by the way, from the pits, the reason he stopped in Heat 4 was a plug lead, nothing more than a spark plug lead coming adrift. And the thoughts that could do for your World Championship hopes is almost too much to bear, isn't it? But here come the Danes. The Germans have been well and truly blown off here. Textbook team riding, not without some agitation, judging by the way the Danes are looking over their shoulders. Close formation, Nielsen on the inside, Pedersen on the outside, and Ries chases forlornly as the Danes 5-1 Heat 11. Takes them on to 18 points. The Swedes are on 15, but the Swedes don't ride for a while. We now have Norway versus Poland. Dormasiewicz is in red, Zawuski is in blue, Gunnestad in white, and Kylingstad in yellow. And from the outside, Gunnestad comes across to drive round the outside, take up formation with Kylingstad, his teammate. But the man in red, Richard Dormasiewicz, has shown himself to be willing to try for all 4 laps. And he's going to have a go here in Heat 12 against the Norwegians. Trying desperately to seek some sort of way between. Now this is what team riding is meant to do, you see. Stop the man in 3rd place finding anywhere to go. White is Gunnestad, yellow is Killingstad. The man we heard at the start of the programme saying he hoped that Norway could get on the rostrum. Well, they started disastrously, but they are now looking at a second successive 5-1. So maybe it's not a forlorn hope. Watson Dormasiewicz. Oh, I thought he was through there, and so did the crowd. What can he do? Not a lot as the flags fly. What a shame for the home crowd. I thought Dormasiewicz was going to split the Norwegians, but he didn't. 5-1. Right, Heat 13. Germany versus Italy. Bulanetto on the inside. Gets pushed out by Castagna in white. In yellow, coming around the outside, is Lausch. Bulanetto in red is 3rd. Sorry, Castagna's in blue, isn't he? Yellow is Lausch. And his teammate on the inside in white is Ries. The Germans are at the front. The Italians in 3rd and 4th. The Germans, who are in 3rd place after the opening 2 rides. Look like they're going to 5-1 this heat. Comfortably. 12 is Lausch, 11 is Ries, and indeed the Germans do have this nicely stitched up. We'll do their hopes of a rostrum no harm whatsoever. Heat 13, 5-1 to Germany, takes them on to 13 points. Heat 14, Czechoslovakia versus Sweden. Well in red, Taysarch in blue versus Jonsson, and Nielsen is in yellow. Nielsen in yellow, but round the outside goes Bobrel. Has he got him? Whoa, what a move, what a brave man this is. Jonsson in white, takes up the chase, does he? He's going to leave it to Nielsen in yellow. But this will undo the damage. As far as Denmark are concerned, if Bobrel, the Czech, can put it over on the Swedes, in red, Bobrel. Woo! Bohumil Brel, to give him his full name, looks like he has this heat won from the Swedes, from the team that are leading the World Pairs Championship at the moment. Chasing in white is Per Jonsson, the individual world champion, the reigning world champion. And Nielsen, Jimmy Nielsen is in third. Taysarch, Sultan Taysarch is tailed off in blue at the back. Woo! But so, as that alters the picture, 18 all now at the top of the championship. 18 points each for Denmark and Sweden. Well, after 4 rides, and in third, it's equal between Norway and Denmark. Join us again in a moment. Heat 15, Denmark versus Norway. Nielsen in red, Pedersen in blue. It looks like Kylingstad in yellow has got the drop. But round the outside we did have, Pedersen goes to the front. That's Jan O. Pedersen, looks back and he does not see his teammate in second. He sees the Norwegian, Einar Kylingstad. Nielsen, the other Dane, in red, goes round the outside, gets the drive in the deep dirt, and we're back to normal. We're back to normal. The Danes are first and second. This is just what they need. This will take them back into the lead, because the next time the Danes come out, in Heat 18, they meet the Swedes. And that will look, won't it, like a championship decider. Let's assume that the Danes get 5 points here in Heat 15. They will go to 23 points. The Swedes are on 18. And the Swedes are out in the last heat. So it is 5-1 to Denmark. 23 points they get. We're missing Heat 16, which was a 4-2 to Germany over Poland. We're into Heat 17, Italy versus Czechoslovakia. There's a tight first bend. In white it's Bobrel, in blue it's Castagna. Castagna in blue gets it after they've sorted out. Matusek is out in yellow again, the Czech reserve, and Vesperini, the Italian reserve, is wearing red at the back of the field at the moment. So at the moment it's a 3-all. We're standing 3-all in the Heat 17 between Italy and Czechoslovakia. But we really must be looking forward to the next heat, Heat 18, which will bring the leading 2 teams, Denmark and Sweden, to the track. It's going to be a win for Castagna by the look of it. There he is. We heard from him at the start of the programme. Didn't think that Italy could win the title. Do you reckon they could pull off a few good races? And this looks like a good one. Armando Castagna wins heat 17, I beg your pardon. The Czechs follow him home. 3-all. Now, heat 18. In red, Jonsson. In blue, Gustafsson. In white, Nielsen. In yellow and black, Jan O. Pedersen. And Nielsen and Pedersen hit the front in white and yellow and black. Now, can they hold? Can they hold the Swedes? They're pulling away out of the first bend. They got the drive beautifully there. They really picked up any drive there was. Blasted down the back straight for the first time. Jan O looks over his shoulder. And he knows where Hans Nielsen is. This is a fast heat. The only people to get under 70 seconds for heat time so far have been the Danes. They've done it twice, and I wouldn't bet against them doing it again. Yellow and black, Pedersen. White is Nielsen. In blue, it's Henrik Gustafsson chasing. But these two are team riding absolutely superbly. They have impeccable understanding of what the other is going to do in the corners, where they're going to position themselves on the track, how much drive they're going to get. But Nielsen is under pressure. Nielsen is under pressure from Gustafsson, the Swede in the blue helmet colour. Yellow and black, Jan O. Pedersen, he leads. And this is Denmark's last ride. 28 points they go to. They cannot be caught. That is the title. That is the title to Denmark. The Swedes drop back to 19 points. They'll have to wait until their final race against the Germans to decide the other rostrum positions as we go to heat 19. Czechoslovakia versus Poland. Dormisiewicz in red, Zawuski in blue, Brel in white and Matusek in yellow. And it's Brel in white who hits the front for Czechoslovakia, and Matusek cut right in on Zawuski. Dear, the Czechs are not afraid of dishing it out in the first corner, are they? Oh dear, the Pole Zawuski in blue really had a hairy corner there. And he's effectively blocked his teammate Dormisiewicz in red. And the Czechs are shaping up for a 5-1 that'll take them on to 18 points as they finish their rides. So the Danes have finished their rides on 28 points. They have won. It's a bit more interesting for second place because we have the Swedes on 19 at the moment and the Germans on 17, and they meet in the last heat. Next out after this heat, in heat 20, we have the Norwegians, who after an appalling start are up to 16 points and could also therefore have a say in who steps on the rostrum. Certainly third place would appear to be between Norway and Germany. As the Czechs 5-1 to go to a final total of 18 points. Here's heat 20. Gunnestad in red and Keilingstad in blue for Norway. White is Furlanetto, yellow is Castagna for Italy. Norwegians hit the front. Now what can Castagna do in yellow? That's Castagna in third place, shaping up to challenge the Scandinavians in front of him. The Norwegians are going to need to team ride every bit as well as the Danes to keep Armando Castagna out. And they're showing every sign of doing it, aren't they? Now, if the Norwegians can hold on to these 5 points for this heat 20, they'll go to 21 points. That'll be their total for the meeting. Red Gunnestad, blue Keilingstad, and yellow and black in third place, the Italian Armando Castagna, forlornly trying to find his way past the team riders. You see that graphic overhead shot, there's nowhere for the Italian to challenge. The Norwegians are placed on the track perfectly. There really is no way through. Good team riding. Castagna's trying an outside line, looking for drive out in the dirt. He can't get it. 5-1 to Norway. They go to 21 points. The top of the rostrum already belongs to the Danes. Now, the last heat. Riss for Germany in red. Lausch in blue. Nielsen is in for the Swedes in white, Gustafsson in yellow. The Swedes on 19 points at the moment. So they need to score. They need to score well to get second. Indeed, they need to score to get third. And they go to the front. In yellow, it's Henrik Gustafsson. Per Jonsson in white. The Germans must have been entertaining hopes of a rostrum, but I think this is done for it, quite honestly. It looks as if the Norwegians, on their 21 points, will get third place. The Czechs have already finished on 18. If the Germans just get 1 point from this heat, and that's what it looks like. See that man in red, Gerd Ries, in third place. He'd score 1 point, take the Germans to 18, which is effectively joint fourth place with the Czechs. It looks like a 5-1 to Sweden, which will give them second place with 24 points. So they've been beaten by Bo Bremel of Czechoslovakia, and they've been 5-1'd by the Danes. But that's quite good enough for second place in the World Pairs Championship. Second place goes to Sweden. Third place goes to the Norwegians on 21 points. So we're going to be looking at an all-Scandinavian rostrum. Denmark 28 points, they win the World Pairs. Sweden 24 points, Norway 19, Germany and Czechoslovakia both have 18 points, Italy have 10, and the poor old Poles at home are the wooden spoon men with just the 9 points. But for the seventh year running now, the Danes are the World Speedway Pairs champions.